We should end it there. All right, and let's jump into WNBA playoffs. So right now we're in the second round of the WNBA playoffs, and recently it was on Tuesday on oh no on Sunday the Vegas Aces beat the Wings, and then they beat them again on Tuesday. So they are up 2 games to nothing on in a 5 game series, and it looks like they'll probably win, because even if the games were close, the game one wasn't close, but game two was closer. The Aces still took it. I think they just got more size and they're just a better team. So it looks like they'll win, but they're gonna have to close it out tomorrow night, 6:30. That'll be on ESPN. Y'all check that out. And then the New York Liberty, the other super team, and the Connecticut Sun are actually tied. They're playing tomorrow at 4:30 on ESPN. Check that out as well. Um, the Connecticut Sun won the first game, and then the Liberty won the second game. The Liberty won by 7. The Sun won by 15. So we'll have to see how that plays out. Liberty kind of responded and figured something out there. So that would be interesting. I mean, you would think the Liberty would win, but the Sun are not. They're not that much. They're not. I mean, it's closer than you might think. I don't know. I don't know what the betting line looks like, but it's a pretty close series. I mean, it's tied 1-1. So it's not. It's not like the Aces Wings. Like, you can tell, oh, the Aces are better. The Aces will probably win this series in 3 or 4 games. But the Liberty and the Sun, who, I mean, at this point we're tied. I got to see what Game 3 looks like tomorrow. So let's check that out tomorrow, and then we'll talk more WNBA playoffs. We'll talk more WNBA playoffs as that rolls on next week. And the WNBA awards came out. Aces Alicia Clark won Sixth Player of the Year award. Congrats to her and everybody I'm going to read off. Jonathan Cole, the Liberty GM, he won GM of the Year. Coach of the Year went to Stephanie White of the Connecticut Sun. And Asia Wilson won Defensive Player of the Year for the second year in a row. Congrats to her. And Breanna Stewart won MVP. And that was a really close MVP race. They were separated by a few votes between Asia Wilson, Breanna Stewart, and Alyssa Thomas, who also had an incredible season for the Connecticut Sun. She was dropping triple double. She was putting up triple doubles a bunch and just playing like a point forward, just really playing well. So it was a really close race. Shout out to Breanna Stewart. Asia Wilson wanted to win, but she's like, it's out of my hands. So we'll see if hopefully we get an Aces Liberty matchup in the finals. We'll see how it shakes out, and that would be epic to see how much more motivated Asia would be since Breanna Stewart won the MVP, because we all know the most important MVP is the finals MVP, and the most important thing of all is to win that championship. So that'll be interesting to check out. Hopefully we can get that as a final series. I really hope, because they've been talked about since the teams came together, since the Liberty came together, because the Liberty added these people. They added Jonquel Jones, added Breanna Stewart, and so they became this super team to compete with the Aces. So, and those matchups have been interesting, blowouts and close games as well. So hopefully we get that. And then shout out to Satu Sabali, who had a great year for the Dallas Wings and won Most Improved Player award. All right, next up, WNBA's Chiney Ogwumike, the LA Sparks Chiney Ogwumike, and also ESPN analyst, Chiney Ogwumike, joins President Joe Biden's Council on African Diplomacy. I just thought that was really cool. I thought that was really cool because I know the Chiney and her sister Neka are very proud of their African roots. So I thought that was really cool that she's getting involved to being on the council and on the council of African diplomacy. I think that's really cool. Um, just nice story. That's pretty much all I gotta say. Shout out to Chiney, and it's a spark. She's a spark, and just congrats to her and everything she's been doing on the court and off the court now, and that's amazing. Also, I saw on YouTube, I was scrolling through YouTube and I saw that, so Shaquille O'Neal, former Laker legend, NBA legend, he has like 5 kids, and I didn't know that he has a daughter named, I knew he had a daughter, but I didn't know her name. Her name is Miara O'Neal, and she's 6'4", of course, because she's Shaq's daughter. 6'4", 17 years old, who basically plays like she's a 6'4" forward, and she can shoot threes, she can play defense, she can dunk. I heard that she's been able to dunk since she was like 13, which is amazing. I'm not sure if that's true, but that was in the video. But I did some research and I found out that yes, she can dunk. Saw some highlight tapes, and she has college offers right now from D1 schools. Her top 8 schools are Tennessee, Baylor, Arizona State, Shaq's alma mater, LSU, Kentucky, Cal, Florida, and Georgia Tech. So I thought that was really cool. I'll be watching, and as always, I'll root for Shaq's daughter, and hopefully she can join the Sparks later on when she becomes a pro. Hopefully she becomes a pro. That's awesome. She looks like she's a really good player. She plays AAU basketball as well. I just thought that was really cool to check out, and I'll be keeping an eye on her development and seeing. Hopefully she can make it to the league like her old man. That'd be really cool. And hopefully she can play in purple and gold for the Sparks. All right, let's get to some NFL. My Raiders. Oh, my Raiders. Okay. My Raiders went 1-2. They're 1-2 now. They lose close to the Steelers. They lost close. Sunday Night Football, no less. Just can't get it together. Jimmy G is now in concussion protocol. Hopefully he'll be okay, because otherwise we're going with Brian Hoyer, who is he's a backup, and he's been in the league a while, and it doesn't feel great him going to play, with all due respect. But yeah, so they lost on Sunday Night Football, and what can I say? The offense was supposed to be good. It's not. It's not balanced. They're not throwing the ball to Hunter Renfrow. Devontae Adams did well last game, and so did Jacoby Myers, but that is not enough. They can't seem to get the running game involved. Josh Jacobs, which if they would be able to get Josh Jacobs going in the running game, then that opens up the passing game. And then the defense, Marcus Peters dropped an interception that could have swung momentum, and also they're just not getting stops and not creating turnovers. So it's not looking great. I know that they want to. I know that they look like they're trying to win, and I heard from your boy Q at your boy Q on Twitter. He does the Lockdown Raiders podcast, really good podcast. If you're interested, go check it out. And he also does ESPN Radio in Las Vegas. He said that basically from what he's gathered from talking to the GM, Dave Ziegler, is that they want to build through the drafts, kind of sort of similar to what the 49ers have done. He made that comparison. Yeah, that's great, but you have to hit on those picks, and that's what he said, and it's going to take time. And as a Raider fan, we've been waiting a long time already. They haven't been to the Super Bowl since 2002. That's a very long time ago. And they've just been up and down, inconsistent, and I hope it works out, but I don't know much about this GM and the coach. I don't like Josh McDaniels. I know they probably want to keep him because right now they're still paying Gruden, unfortunately, and they're paying Josh McDaniels. But I don't like McDaniels. I don't think he's a head coach. I think that they need to bring in a head coach that could win or has a success of winning. He just doesn't strike me as a head coach because he has not had success anywhere he's gone, and it's not been great for him as a Raider since he came last season. They had a losing season, lost a lot of a lot of close games, and I think that comes down to coaching, in my opinion. Um, yeah, just and Jimmy G ain't it. He's an okay quarterback, but I was talking to a friend of mine that's 49ers fan. He said that Jimmy G doesn't really throw picks that much, and he's thrown 6 picks through 3 games, so it's just not looking great. I'd just rather them just lose every game so they can. You want to build through the draft? Let's get us Caleb Williams. Let's just tank the rest of the season. They won't, and I feel bad for Devontae Adams because he's 30 years old. He's trying to win, so that's what's going on with the Raiders. They play the Chargers this Sunday, and they're not favored. The Chargers are favored 5.5 points. So I'll be watching, and I'll be rooting for the Raiders and against the Chargers, and they got a chance to even it up, so we'll see what happens. But I'm not encouraged from what I've seen. Not encouraged at all. And they don't have a chance at really contending this year because they got whooped badly by the Bills last week. And you couldn't beat the Steelers with Kenny Pickett as their quarterback. All due respect to Kenny Pickett. He's not great. He's decent. But, yeah. And it's a close game, and you need to win those games. If you're trying to win this year, you need to win the close games that are right there for you. So we'll see what happens against the Chargers. Speaking of the Chargers, they lost the mid-off. They lost the battle of mid against the Vikings. Oh, actually, excuse me. Sorry, wishful thinking. They actually won the mid-off. They won the battle of mid against the Vikings. They beat them by 4, but the Chargers and Vikings just went back and forth trying to give the game to each other. No, you take the game. No, you take the game. Vikings were like, no, I don't really want to win. And then the Chargers won. It's like when you and your friend are fighting over who to pay the bill at the end of the night. And apparently the Vikings were like, oh, you go ahead. You go ahead and take this win. So, yeah, that's what happened. And I think the Chargers are 1-2 as well because they were both 0-2. So, hopefully the Raiders can beat the Chargers. I'm going to be hoping for it, but like I said, I'm not very optimistic in this team as what I've seen so far. It's looking bad for the Raiders. To be honest, it's looking bad for the Raiders this season, and I'll just have to see how it plays out. Just have to see how it plays out. No means do I put them as a contender in the AFC. I think that's the Chiefs, that's the Dolphins, and that's what do you call it? The Chiefs, Dolphins, and the Bills. So long as Josh Allen doesn't throw a ton of picks and fumble the ball away like he did versus the Jets. Speaking of the AFC, the Bengals beat the Rams. Bengals beat the Rams. Rams lose to the Bengals. Close game. The Rams are an interesting team too because they're waiting for Cooper Kupp to come back. He's going to come back week 5. They looked good the first game, but now they're 1-2, and it's tough sledding a little bit for the Rams. I think they probably miss Cooper Kupp. We'll have to see how their season goes moving forward. Next up for the Rams, they got the Colts. That could be a win for them. They're still rebuilding. They got a young quarterback. So, yeah, I mean, not as quite as bad as the Raiders because the Rams got some big-time players. I mean, the Raiders got a couple of big-time players too, but they're also 1-2. So, it's not ideally where they want to be. And the Bengals, I feel like they're having a tough time, and I don't know if Burrow's healthy yet. But if he's playing, then he's good enough to go. But I think he's just a gamer. And the Bengals might not be able to contend this year if Burrow can't be 100%. And I think they should probably give him time to be 100% because that's their franchise guy moving forward. The next big NFL story is Travis Kelce dating Taylor Swift? Question mark? Is he? Yeah, I think he is. I think it's pretty obvious because on Sunday when they blew out the Bears, Taylor Swift was there in the suite in Chiefs gear next to his mom, Mama Kelsey. Mama Kels, excuse me. I believe it's Travis Kels. So Mama Kels. Yeah, so my wife is a huge Taylor Swift fan, and she's like, he seems like a nice guy, so hopefully he's nice to her. And I listened to his podcast yesterday, the one with his brothers, New Heights, and he said, as far as his personal life, he's just going to keep it personal from now on. He's not going to talk about it, and he's going to respect his private life as well as her private life. And so I just think if he's in the suite next to mom, this has been going on a little while. It started off, apparently he wanted to get a friendship bracelet. He had his friendship bracelet with his number on it, tried to give it to her. According to the rumor, I don't know if that's been confirmed, but he's obviously interested. I think that his people got to her people, gave him his number, and now she's at his game. So him not commenting on it, that means they're dating. Also, his coach said, I've met her before. He's like, I probably just set him up. I don't know if he's teasing him. And then, Mahomes said if they're dating, I think they're dating. I think it seems pretty obvious. Taylor Swift's really cool person, really good person. Seems like, from all accounts, seems like she's a really good person. Travis Kelce, a lot of people say he's a good dude. People that worked on John Ireland was saying on the radio that the people that worked on the dating show he did a long time ago said he was a great guy, but his ex-girlfriend from that show said that I wouldn't be a girl's girl unless I didn't tell you that he cheated. So, and she said once a cheater, always a cheater. So hopefully that's not true. But also, that was 7 years ago. People can't change if they want to change. And so, you know what, Travis? If you're dating Taylor Swift, don't break her heart, or else you will be her next album. That's a fact. Much love to Taylor Swift, but that's a fact, Jack. All right. And it was really cool. Like Taylor Swift fans were like, "Oh, so explain us football. Like, how do we tell us about football?" Because some of them didn't. I guess the ones that didn't know about football, so that's kind of cool. It was very, very innocent. Like, so what is this? What is this game? Can you tell us about it? All right. Next, Colorado. They've been a huge story because of Deion Sanders, and I think it's really cool what he's done for those kids. And I think I said I didn't like how he left Jackson State and how he kind of left in a bad way, and he also showed up and promised them that he'd be there for a long time and was out in a couple years. But it's really cool what he's doing for those kids. It's really cool for what he's done for his sons. They beat Colorado State, but then they lost to Oregon the following week. And this week coming up, they have USC. And USC's probably going to beat them too. And Deion Sanders, he took it though. I give him credit. He said, beat me now, because they're going to be a problem. And he's just going to have to go recruit some people for that offensive line, some big dudes for that offensive line, because they are not blocking well for his son, Shedeur Sanders. So, also, Travis Hunter was hit late in that Colorado State game, and it was kind of a dirty play. The Deion Sanders and them said, Deion Sanders said, it's football, it happens. But then the kid that hit Travis Hunter was getting death threats online. Again, with the death threats very bad look for the Colorado fans. It's probably their fanatics, their diehards. Don't be making death threats, people. It's just sports. It's just games. Like, we care about the kids, especially when it comes to college kids. We care about the players. We don't want them getting hurt. Don't want to see any dirty hits or late hits. But death threats, people, come on. This is just sports. It's not, you don't be making death threats. Like, you can say, oh, that was a late hit, that was a dirty hit. Don't do that again. But not death threats on a college kid. He made a mistake, but he does not deserve that. And Deion said as much. Like, that's too far. So I really respect Deion for saying that. And yeah, let's cut it out with the death threats, people, man. I feel like since the pandemic, people are tripping and not acting right. Like, let's just try to, relax. Get a massage, people. Take a deep breath. Whatever you gotta do to just take some meditation, some prayer. Just relax a little bit. Let's all be kinder to one another. Stop with the online death threats again. Let's just stop it. Let's stop it. Let's be kind to one another. My USC Trojans beat Arizona State, baby. And they have, like I said, they're playing Colorado this weekend. I'm going to be watching. They play in the morning game. I think it's on Fox. I think it's on Fox at 9 a.m. They are playing Colorado. They are 4-0. Yeah, it's going to be on Fox Sports. I thought it was on the Fox Noon show, but it's a noon game, so it's on Fox Sports. I'm going to be watching Trojans. Colorado's a great story, but I've been a USC fan since I was a kid, since I was 12. So going down Colorado, going down Deion. Plus Caleb Williams, man. I love Caleb Williams. He is a generational talent. That's why I said I want the Raiders to tank for him. It's gonna be interesting though, because I know Shador is a really good quarterback, and the Colorado offense is really good. So we'll see how the USC defense can hold up against Colorado. Let's go. Move on to the Dodgers. Since we last talked, the Dodgers won the NL West and clinched a wild card bye and home field advantage in the National League Division Series, baby. NLDS. What? Obviously incredible. They won the NL West for like the 10th time in 11 years. Shout out to Dave Roberts, because this is his best year coaching. And y'all are going to try to say bad stuff about Dave Roberts, but come on, man. Leave him alone, because this year we've had so many injuries, so many big guys go down. Julio Reyes gets arrested. Give Dave Roberts his props. Give the Dodgers their props. They just got that special sauce. That's fun. Okay, Dodgers defense has improved since we got rid of Syndergaard. Dodgers defense has improved, which is amazing. And then, it was a couple games ago. It was over the weekend. Chris Taylor had a walk-off hit, which was awesome. I was watching with my little 18-month daughter, Carter. You guys saw her on last episode. And I was like, yay, Dodgers. And she was clapping. It was so cute. But a walk-off hit, really fun. And it was also a fun moment where Miguel Rojas, he was playing shortstop, and he was talking. He had the mic. He was mic'd up. And he's like, oh, sorry, guys. Got to make this play real quick. And he gets the ball. And he picks up the ball, and he throws it to first. And I knew he was a really good defender, but that was so baller. That was so dope. That was so dope how he was just like, sorry guys, I gotta make this play real quick. And the guys in the booth were laughing. That was swag. That was dope. That was like a really cool moment. Another topic about the Dodgers is this Clayton Kershaw's last year. Was this past weekend, was that Kershaw's last start as a Dodger, last home regular season start? I don't know. He's been year to year, last few years. I think he could probably play a couple more years. He's 34. He gets injured every year. He has time off. He's close to 3,000 strikeouts. I don't know if he cares about the number, but that would be cool if he hit that. But again, appreciate greatness as we're watching it. Kershaw is one of the greatest pitchers ever, one of the greatest Dodgers pitchers ever. He's broken a lot of records, and he's just a very likable guy, very nice guy. So it will be sad when he does retire, because I don't believe he's going to any other team but the Dodgers. I know the threat of the Texas Rangers has been out there, but he's not going to leave the Dodgers because, I mean, the Rangers are decent. They're trying to get into the playoffs, but Kershaw's a winner. He wants to win. So if he plays, he's going to play for the Dodgers. But it seems, with every year, it seems more realistic that he might retire. Hopefully, as LeBron said at the ESPYs, hopefully today is not that day. Hopefully this year is not that year. Also, Ohtani had elbow surgery. I'm not sure if they specified. He had elbow surgery and is expected to hit opening day in 2024, pitch in 2025. It's going to be interesting to see what contract he gets now, and hopefully that's from the Dodgers. But it's going to be interesting. Do they try to lock him up long term? Does he still get a 10-year, $500 million type of deal, $600 million type of deal, or do teams wait and see what that year looks like? Do they give him an opt out? For him, I hope. It's not my money, and the Dodgers got a ton of money, so I'm not worried either way. But I would hope that for Ohtani, he gets the pay that he wants. I hope, but you got to be smart as an organization too. Should we do a shorter term deal because of the injury? Because he's had an elbow surgery. Is he going to need Tommy John again? And I remember when he was coming in, this is why teams are concerned about hitting and pitching. But man, he is such a unicorn. So hopefully he can get back to his full self, because he's the greatest player ever at his full self. And hopefully he signs with the Dodgers, because if he's just a hitter, he's still an all-star as a hitter and a DH. But that's different. Paying $600 million, you don't pay that to just a DH and a hitter. You pay that to a guy like Ohtani that pitches and hits, but not just one. So be interested to see. I still hope the Dodgers sign him, because he is just so good. He's incredible. The best player ever. Gotta be best player ever. I said it. I stamped it. I said it, and I put my name on that. Last one, I'll just throw it in here. I saw this on YouTube too, that Kenny the Jet Smith tells I think Big Boy from 92.3 Real Radio in LA that Charles Barkley and Shaq don't really watch the games that they talk about. He said, Kenny said he loves basketball, so he watches the games, but so when the games are on and they go talk about it later on, Charles Barkley is, not paying attention fully, and, eating, or he's got something else on the side. Shaq will be doing business deals. He'll be keeping an eye on the game, barely, but doing business deals, doing all kinds of stuff. What do you think about this deal? What do you think about that? Asking Kenny. So it's a great show. It's very entertaining, but when it comes to analysis, take it with a grain of salt from Shaq and from Barkley. I love Shaq, but when he says he wasn't familiar with people's game, it's because he's not fully paying attention, which is crazy because they get paid to talk about it, but they're more of an entertainment show than they are a basketball analyst show. And but maybe pay attention to Kenny if he's being honest about him actually watching the game. But with Shaq and Barkley, if they say something that don't sound right, then it's because they're not fully paying attention to the games, which is wild. Which is wild that Kenny said this. It's really wild and eye-opening. And so, listen, and I always say that Barkley has a bias against the Lakers, as I think he does. I think he was maybe wanted to be a Laker or something. It didn't happen, but there's something there. I'll look into that and I'll talk about it. I'll talk about it on a later show. But yeah, let's consider the source when we're talking about Barkley and Shaq and their NBA analysis. And let's have more shows that actually give you analysis, breaking down the film and talking about the game as far as just starts. Because like I said, I love Shaq, but Shaq is like, if you're not a star, I don't know about you. That's not good. It takes 5 guys, 8 guys, 9 guys on the team to win games, to win playoffs, to win championships. And Shaq knows that. I don't know why he's only paying attention to the stars. He talks about the others, but then he don't know the others' names. And Barkley's a Laker hater and just a hater sometimes. But they have a really entertaining show. Shout out to them. But I will criticize them if they talk badly about my Lakers or say some whack stuff about any other dude. That is unfair or crazy. Thank y'all so much. This is gonna be part 2 of the episode today. This is gonna be split up into 2 because I didn't think I was gonna go this long. So I'm gonna split it up into 2 parts. Peace and love and God bless, and please like and subscribe to the channel and shoot me a comment, ask me a question, whatever y'all want to talk about, I'm down. Peace out.